Hello, another great week at Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network with co-hosts Brittany Wise and Carol Harper Poe.
In the house.
How you guys doing today?
Fabulous.
It's a hot day, right?
Very hot.
Well, it's a hot girl summer, so every day.
Okay.
Man.
Every day a hot day.
Man, I know that this, being a hot day, we're not exactly where it's going to be sooner or later. We have July and August and September where it's going to be in the hundreds, right?
Exactly.
Don't remind us,
Smothering heat, man.
Doctor
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that I have a vehicle. Obviously, y'all know about it, the Ford Explorer. I do most of my dent work out of it. The air don't work much. and one of the windows only can go half down, so I'm burning up when I'm doing that kind of work, and I'm like, man. So I think I'm gonna have to break down. And I just don't like to waste time with stuff like that, but I need to break down, go ahead and get it fixed, so I don't have to suffer, right?
Exactly.
Well, it depends. I'm suffering too. I ain't got no AC in my car either. So
See, so you know how it is.
Summer for real.
I have AC. I feel great.
See?
Now my other car, on the other hand, don't have AC. That's why I stay in this car.
Now see how she bragging now.
Look, she
God is
good.
good.
Favor, look, favor ain't fair. Is it?
Hey, I'd rather have favor than anything else.
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. Man, it's so great to be here, and I want to start with Miss Brittany. We want to get into best startup business for a new entrepreneur.
Okay.
Miss Brittany, what are some good businesses to start for people in new to entrepreneurship?
Well, thanks for asking. But I've been giving it a lot of thought, and I've had a lot of people ask me, what business should I start? What business should I get into? And oftentimes it's to make money. And I have to tell them, well, money is a currency. It's a current. It's always moving. So anything that you do, you're going to make money with it if you stick to it.
Right.
But I usually recommend network marketing, multi-level marketing, because it's a low-cost startup. You don't have to invest a lot of money in the beginning.
Right.
And it teaches you how to relate with people.
Right.
And then you learn teamwork. So when you learn the teamwork and how to relate with other people, it prepares you for your own growth and marketing your own business.
Right.
Well, actually, I like to add, but so I'm glad you said network marketing because NBC's list, the platform that I built, is set up in that kind of category. So NBC's list, for everyone that doesn't know, you've heard of Craigslist, you've heard of Angie's List. Well, the platform I built called NBC's List, it is a platform that's combined, it acts as a Craigslist where you can post items to sell. It acts as an Angie's List for you to be able to post your business and get more views because it runs through Google as well. But what makes it so special is you can make residual income through NBC's List. And it's set up like a network marketing platform where, let's say you bring someone that either wants to get into a business, grow the business, they want to make money with it. How they'll do it is they'll bring people that want to join NBC's List or do some of our other services that we do, because Ms. Carol and Ms. Brittany is a part of NBC's List. And so as you bring people, you make a residual, you make commission. And so it's set up as a network marketing because you bring so many people, you make this amount, you make this amount. Let's say if someone wants to take a course, you'll make a certain amount because they took the course. Let's say if you use Ms. Carol's publishing company, and let's say I brought her that person, she's already paid me something a couple of times for bringing her a couple of book sales. And Ms. Brittany, the same thing. If you use her talent agency, so on and so forth. So the key is everyone that joins, you bring us work, you bring us customers, same thing. And if you bring a service, same thing. We bring you people, then you'll give us a little something because we're bringing you more money. So I'm glad you brought up network marketing because I set it up that way because, like you said, it's low cost to start. It gives you a lot of different tiers from only $50 up to $600, depending on what you want to make. So I think that is very awesome. Ms. Carol, do you have anything as far as for a person that wants to start a business? What would you recommend to that person?
Well, first of all, you have to know what type of business that you want to get into.
Right.
And research. I hear everybody around the table always talk about research that. If that is just something off the top of your head, is it your passion? Is that what you want to do? And of course, take courses. Take courses before.
Okay.
Take courses before you get involved in that, and maybe it'll help you. So my thing, what I did, I was born to write, because I've been writing since I was a little girl.
Okay.
And now I'm getting the process up with helping other people, because I can always jot something down on paper, but when you got a book in your hand, your own work,
Right.
your own work, it makes a difference. This is something that you completed,
Right.
no one else.
I love it.
So,
What does a new entrepreneur need to know, Miss Brittany?
Ooh, child. Well, the first thing a new entrepreneur needs to know is it takes discipline and consistency.
Okay.
No matter what it is that you do, you need to make sure that you're disciplined enough to do it on a consistent basis, whatever it is that you're doing. It's easy to get distracted and get off course.
exactly.
And a lot of times, if you're new to entrepreneurship, you think, oh, I get to set my own schedule. That's nice, but do you realize you're probably gonna be working 10 to 12 hours?
Right,
more.
right.
Right, like, or more. Like, so you used to having somebody tell you what time to come to work. Now you got to be disciplined enough to continually work your own shift
Right.
every day.
Right.
And a lot of people really don't compute that, and they just see the glitz and the glamour, or the branding, the marketing.
Right.
That's what people see entrepreneurs do.
Right.
You don't see all of the hours and labor in
Right.
behind the scenes.
Right.
And people mistakenly think, I want to be an entrepreneur. Are you really equipped mentally to be an
Right.
entrepreneur? So
Right.
the main thing is discipline and consistency.
Absolutely.
Can I hit on that?
Absolutely.
A lot of times I heard you say discipline. You also have to be disciplined with other people, because other people will pull you away from what you're doing. And you get distracted. I heard you say distracted. They will distract you. Now, I'm not talking about nobody around the table, but
right.
I experienced it. In the last couple of weeks, people will distract you. And they want your time, but you're trying to fight for your time because you have to run your business.
Right. I got you. So let's get into business growth. How has your business grown lately, Miss Brittany?
Ooh. God is good. I've experienced a lot of elevation and a lot of growth. I opened up a new dance studio.
Awesome.
All right.
I have a new business partner where we launched a new talent agency. Our dance team, the Curvy Queens, we have over 50,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And over 6,000 on Instagram. So if you don't know anything about the social media sector, it's good to get the followers and the recognition, because that means more people see you and they recognize you. And as a result, you have big name artists that call and say, hey, can you be in my video?
Right.
So we've been getting a lot of that, to the point to where it's, we have every weekend we have 2 or 3 performances, and we're starting to have to say no to people.
Right.
So you really want to get to a place where you're so busy and it's like you get to pick and choose.
Right.
Because then you can say, well, how much are you paying? Like,
Right.
So we've experienced quite a bit of growth. God is amazing. We've had some mainstream artists, like some very well-known Grammy Award-winning artists call us to work with us. And I'm not going to share names right now because I don't want to ruin the surprise, but we got quite a bit in store.
That's great.
And you hit Grammy Awards. So who's going on BET?
Actually,
Who's going on BET?
so my daughter Garcia Parra, she was part of 5 people that were chosen to perform at the BET weekend, and so she's going to perform there, and I think Lil Boosie, the rapper, is gonna be the host.
Okay.
And some other person, I can't think his name, Black Ink or something, I can't remember. But it's gonna be her and a number of others, and what they're gonna end up doing is, from what I understand, they're gonna choose 2 people out of who perform, and if she's one of them, which I believe she will,
Amen.
she'll have to go then to Miami
Oh.
for the final.
Okay.
And so obviously, I try to see it in twofold. I look at what could happen is if she don't be a part of those 2, this was a great experience, great to put into her portfolio, into growth, because there's other things that is coming up that I hadn't really brought up yet, and I don't want to jinx it for them, because her and my son have a chance to do something great that I haven't brought up yet, but I'm gonna wait to see it kind of happen first. But for her, now that's the lower part of it. I'm a positive guy, so she's going to be one of those 2
Yes.
Yeah.
that they're going to
Absolutely.
choose, and she's going to go further.
Absolutely.
But see, that's networking too.
That's networking
So
too.
now she's networking with other people in the industry, and eventually somebody's gonna say, "Can you write a song for me?
Right.
Exactly.
Can you be on my track?"
Right.
And that's where the residuals come in.
That's right. I
Okay?
appreciate you
So,
bringing that
like-
up too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you looking forward to most?
That the same thing.
Okay. Growth. I got you.
Overall, being able to impact others, like using my gift to impact other
There you
people,
go.
and to make money doing it, like
Gotcha. I
like
got
to
you.
make good
Right.
money doing
Yes,
it. So
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to the possibilities of where my gifts can take me. Because when I started, I've always danced. I've always loved dancing, and I really just had to decide to step away from therapy and just focus on dancing
Exactly.
and just follow faith.
Mm-hmm.
And God has just done nothing but elevate.
Amen.
So I'm just like, okay, I'm looking forward to what's to come, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, I know that you were talking about the talent agency, and you've told us that you've already launched it. So, recruiting day details.
Okay, so our first recruiting day is June 23rd. That's Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Anyone that wants to get into the entertainment industry, here's your chance. If you want to get paid to sing, dance, write, if you set design, if you know how to, put props together, they're looking for that. If you know how to do hair, there's jobs for that. If you know how to do makeup, there's jobs for that. A lot of people don't understand that you don't necessarily have to have a certain look to be in the industry. Any and everybody, they need your race, ethnicity. If you got a bunch of tattoos, they look for that too. Yeah, so you don't have to look a certain way to work in the industry, and there's plenty of work. So my goal is to bridge that gap, because a lot of people have talent and gifts, and they have no idea how to get into that industry and say, how do I make money doing this?
How sweet it is.
Oh, definitely.
So June 23rd, 6 p.m. in Carrollton. You can go to premierlighthouse.com, Premier, lighthouse with a Z.com, and get more information.
That's awesome. I know, Miss Brittany, that you have some questions for Miss Carol about her books. I will let you take over.
Since we're talking about elevating, I know Miss Carol got all kinds of new stuff going on, so let's start. Name all your audio books. I know you got some of them right here. I get you a copy. Talk about your show, your Carol show. Just go ahead and
Have at it, huh?
word vomit. Give it to me.
All right. This one is Justice for All Equality. It's an audio book. We're only talking about audio books. Of course, you see the book in my hand. So this is on audible.com. And this is when the riot and the looting and all of that took place, and I wrote this book. And this one is Spiritual Warfare, Salvation and the Word. And this is on audio also. And this is a series. I have a series of these. Salvation this, salvation that, salvation this.
So how many it's in the series?
3.
3, okay.
Now,
There's 3 in the series.
Does this book have any Black history in it?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. You want to hit on some of it?
Yeah, sure.
Definitely. It talks about back in the day of how our ancestors was going through, and it talks about the Congress, a brief Congress in July 4th, 1766, Justice for All Equality. And when I said our ancestors, we think that the rioting and the looting and all the shooting and stuff is just now starting. No, it was beginning. Our ancestors went through it. So that it's just a brief little history. And I think I'm coming with part 2, but y'all know how I am when I'm 1, 2, and 3. It'll take a minute, but it's coming. Okay. So, and this one is just spiritual warfare. A lot of things are going on in the natural, so in the spiritual, it's just word. It's salvation in the word, just like it is. It's just giving you a little this in the word. Okay. And all right, this was Valentine's Day. It had to be love. It had to be love. So basically, this talks briefly about love, about not 50%, not 80-20, not 30-40, but 100-100 on each side. If you got 100 on each one of your partner, you ain't nothing could go wrong.
Right.
Yes, it ain't gonna be sugar and spice and all of that, but love will bring you home. That's a movie.
All right.
All right, Reinstitute. This is what I have with me. I had all kinds of specials and stuff like that, but now it's on audio. All these books is on audio. Audible.com. Reinstitute is just starting all over again, launching your life all over again, beginning new things, as you spoke about. Your daughter, the road that her brother's going through. So basically, this is what this is about: rebooting. And I tells a story about, we all know the $6 million man. Y'all ready for this? We already know about the $6 million man. You know, he was an astronaut, Steve Austin. He went up into space and he had a crash or whatever, and then they had to rebuild him with machines and all of this, his legs and stuff, and they made him better and faster than he was before. All this is just Reinstitute. It's just building yourself up again and starting all over again, making yourself just rebooting like a computer, rebooting your life.
And how do you buy these again?
Amazon.com, of course, Audible.com, and you can see me on all the social media. I'm on every social media: Carol Harper, Carol Poe, Carol Publishing Company, TikTok, YouTube, everything. So you can look me up on that, or you can email me at POWECAROL311@gmail.com, or 469-778-8682, or 469-643-6498.
That's awesome. So kind of with the Carol Show, what is your motto, and what's the information to contact you?
Well, the motto is your message matters. Everybody's message matters. Because some people think that what they have to say is not important. You know, we want it professionally, but your message always matters, and that's what it's all about, telling your story. If you see something that you want to speak on in the community or anything like that, basically this is building the community.
Okay.
Getting your message out there.
Well, Ms. Carol, I know that you have some questions for me, so I'll let you take the floor.
Yes, since we're not talking about astrology, I guess we have to talk about value. How do you build more value in business?
So how do you build more value? So typically, to build more value is you give more to the customer. As far as when they pay for something, normally I'll go overboard with what I'm giving them. I normally go far and beyond, and if it's not that as for a service, then I'll go with gifting or something like that. I'll go a little overboard, so it helps build value. And as long as you're doing quality work and putting in the time and working hard, then you'll be able to build more value. But to build more value is you always should think about going overboard with your services and overboard with the thinking process. When you do that, you see, the goal is to give a experience to the customer that is unmatched, an experience to where if they're going to any book publisher or talent agency or therapist or whatever, give them such an experience to where they won't go to anyone else. Period. They're gonna always go to you because either you gave them a good deal and the work was great, or kind of whatever. And obviously it's a balancing act between the price and the customer. You'll have a price, then as you get to a certain point in business, it kind of depends on stuff, right? When you first start business, you probably have to end up doing a lot of things cheaper than you want to if you want to live from your business. But if you're gonna work and do that, you don't have to do that because your guaranteed money is coming from your job. So you don't have to go down. You can stay where you are. But if you decide to live from it, then what happens is if something costs $1,000 and someone says, I got $700. Typically, if you have another form of income, my price is $1,000. But if you want to live from your business, you're gonna have to try to stay at $1,000. But you get a couple people say $700, you just got to take it because you're trying to live from it. So yeah, that's how you do that.
Or you can offer incentives.
Yes.
Offer incentives.
If you have that customer that your price is $1,000, but they only want to pay $700. All right, well, if you bring me another person to pay, $700.
Right.
All right, cool.
Exactly.
I'll take a 2 for 1. So you gotta have that leeway where it's like, okay, how much how much am I willing to give
Right.
in order to get?
Compromise, but
Compromise,
not too
yeah.
much.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Compromise, but not too
a
much.
look, it's a dance. Like,
Right.
and entrepreneurship is always a dance. Like, okay, I'm gonna give so
Absolutely.
much stuff for free, but then so too many people want a 5-finger discount, and you gotta really
Right.
figure out, okay, how much value do I get out of this?
Right.
Right.
Like
Right.
some of my clients, I'll do a lot. I'll go above and beyond because I know what they got on the back end. Like either you go pay on the front or you go pay on the back end.
Right.
So it's just certain things where, like I have a client that she's a concert promoter. She knows a lot of big artists. Okay, I'm gonna do a lot more for her
Right.
than I would for somebody who like you don't even know how to get an LLC. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Got you.
you see what I mean? That's how you build value.
Okay.
So, how to create urgency with a customer?
To create the urgency is just to say buy now, pay now. You do it now, then I'm gonna give you this deal because next week it's gonna be this amount. You just want to just let them know if they pay now, buy now, and not just say, you have to say it. You have to say, okay, let's get do it. You know, most people tell their service or tell this and call me when you're ready. That's not what you do. That's not what. Someone that sells something, because if you're going to sell your books or sell your service or sell whatever, you have to say now. We have to do it now. So you buy now, come on, you ready? Or sometime after your presentation, you know me, right at the end of it, I'll say, so all right, so let me send you my Cash App, let me send the payment now, and then what happened is I tell 10 people that, 2 us go ahead and pay, and the rest will say, well, let me think about it first. So you want to just build like a sense of urgency.
All right, we're gonna shift gear. We're gonna get our hustle on right now.
Oh shoot!
All right, the
Every
hustle
day
is
I'm
on.
hustling.
Hey.
Every day I'm
In the
hustling.
grind, right?
Like-
In the grind.
Okay, how do you hustle with your business?
Okay, so this is great because again, it's going to attack 2 people. The person that has a job,
Okay.
that person can kind of go at their leisure. There's no certain thing you got to do when you have a job because you have a job and you got some guaranteed money. So you can do that how you want. This is mainly for the person without a job, the person that wants to live from the business. You got to go out there and work and pass out cards. Like she said earlier, 12 hours, but you got to go meet customers every day for 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, maybe even 7, until you build it up to a point where it's a machine. Certain services can pay for itself. Like if you were doing hair, then you can get 4, 5, 6, 7 customers per week and make enough money to live on. That's easier to turn into that. When you're selling clothes like my daughter does, or when you're selling knowledge-based stuff like I can do, and talent agency and books, these are things that you have to push because it's billions of books out there. Why would they choose you? Why would they choose your talent agency over 1,000 more? Why would they choose me over some other person that teaches it? It's because you have to put it in their face and show that there is no other place. And if there is, I'm gonna beat them. Why?
I need that on the shirt.
Right.
right.
There's no
Put
other
it in their
place.
face and tell them there's no other place.
There's no other
All right,
place.
like Dr. James,
There's no other place.
like Brittany, like Carol.
That's right.
Okay, so how many hours per day should you hustle?
I guess I barely touched on it, but no less than 10,
Okay.
but as much as you want. So when you want to do it with no other job, you have to do it every day.
Okay. So, rest. How many hours should you, me, or anyone sleep?
Okay, so obviously the number, the normal number is 8 hours, right? But you need about 7 at the least. But obviously, when you burn the midnight oil like you can do when you're writing books, sometimes you end up getting 3, 4, 5 hours sleep. That's okay once a week, maybe twice. But the other 5 days, 6 days, you need to get at least 7 hours of sleep because your brain does need to recharge.
Exactly.
And then one thing that you may not know is that, did you know that, and I don't know if y'all tried this yet, or imagine if you have tried this, when you go to bed, not quite when you sleep obviously, but right when you first lay down, you're tired, right? If you can think about ideas and goals that you want to do right then, what happened is the brain is in a perfect problem-solving mode in the REM sleep part, right before sleep. And 2 things happen. Either you start thinking about it, and you keep thinking, and kind of before you know it, you start coming up with ideas and solutions, and you either say, okay, tomorrow when I get up, I'm gonna write that down because I'm gonna do it. Or you just go to sleep, and then when you wake up, that pops back in your head. And for some reason, it helps you think more clearer, and you come up with whatever you want to come up with, the solution to what you're trying to do, or the new idea that you want to do to pretty much grow.
All right. So how important is sleep?
Well, sleep is very important because, again, and I'm sure you know this because you stay up a lot writing, and then you have to go to work sometimes. So you may not, and then sometimes this happens, you might have to come to a show, or you may have to, then we may have to do it in the evening because of other stuff, or maybe early on when we used to meet and go over stuff, so your sleep can be cut. First of all, entrepreneurs have to go through that. That's just how that go. You have to have days of doing that, but a couple days a week, once or twice. The other 5 days or 6, it's no less than 7 if you can. But again, if you can sneak in 6.5, that's probably good enough. 6, barely good enough, barely. Anything less than that is called burning the midnight oil. 6 hours is good enough. 6.5 is great. 7 is great. If you can mess around and get 8 or 9 hours, first of all, 9 hours is too long. Haven't you slept one time? Okay, like I haven't done this in a long time, but have you ever slept 9 hours or 10 and you wake up almost with a headache?
Yeah.
Because you slept.
You're like, oh man, and you think you can lay there a little longer, but now I'm like, no, I got to get up. I've only felt like that one time in a couple years, and I felt like that a couple months ago when I did do that. I did try to sleep on a Sunday. I think I slept longer just to see how it feels to let my body wake me up. And I let it wake me up, and I slept 9.5 hours. I'm like, I don't feel right. And I got up, and I just felt like I just did too much sleeping.
Well, what I do, Dr. James, is when I do burn the midnight hour, I know I'm gonna be off the next day and stuff like that, and I have an opportunity to sleep those 6 to 8 hours.
I see. I got
It's a pattern. It's a pattern. If I'm not off, I don't stay up.
But I understand that.
Now I've tried in years, a lot of motivational speakers say you need to be up at 3 in the morning and before everybody else get up.
It's quiet.
Yeah, I've tried that. No.
I love it.
I gotta have my sleep.
Gotcha.
Like I ain't good for nobody without my sleep. Now I'm okay with being up at that time.
Right.
But every day,
distractions.
Man, what a great show this has been. We've given out a lot of great information. Thank you guys for tuning in. For Miss Brittany, Miss Carol, our co-host, I'm your host, Dr. James McConnell. Thank you for tuning in to the Small Business Network. And to give us a call, you've heard their phone numbers. Your number is
214-774-7503.
And that's the talent agency. And for Miss Carol,
469-778-8682.
And that's Carol's publishing company. And for Dr. James, obviously a myriad of things, starting with NBC's list and blah, 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 help you make more money. Give us a call, 469-765-5327. Thank you and have a great day.